Here we go, boys. Here we live. Comments is coming in. The chat is coming in. What up? What up? What up? We appreciate y'all for waiting. Please don't L host me because you
What's
know
that mean?
L host pretty much means yeah. So Juwan, anytime we get L host, that's on us, bro. That is them telling us that we not doing our job well. So L host. So if we late, yeah. So if we late anything like that,
I
like
seen
remember
that a
that.
couple times. I was
Because
like,
last week I jumped out the live before ending the broadcast, so they L hosted me. So, so it happens. But yeah, no worries. So welcome back to another episode 3, the By Any Means podcast. I'm back with my brother Juwan. What's up, bro? How you doing?
what's up, brother? How you doing,
I'm
man?
I'm good as always. We got a great set of guests today. It is family business. We are keeping it in the family as always. I want to thank y'all first and foremost for coming on. Trey, Jaylen Bell, or as you go now, Hollywood Bell. We appreciate y'all for pulling up to the show. How you boys doing?
Man, all is well, man. All is well. Just crafting right now,
Just doing great. Taking every day by day.
I love that. Let's get into it.
Let's get it, man. Let's get into it. Family business. If the crowd doesn't know, and the people who are watching, you guys grew up in a football family house, and I know a couple people who grew up in a football family house. I'm not one of them, but it comes with a lot of pros and it could come with a lot of cons. So I just want to know, how was y'all experience growing up in a big family home? Your dad's a coach. How was that?
Now I'll speak first because I know a little bit more than he know. But it's tough, man. It's not easy, and you really gotta truly love it. But I remember asking my father or talking to my father about something like this, just talking about like, you know, what is it like, raising kids and stuff like that. And he was just saying like, for him with us it's pretty easy just because like he's kept us around the sport for so long that like we kind of really don't know anything else. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But it's tough. It's tough because it never stops, like ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's hard. It's harder for him right now, and he know like it's harder for him to be going through his own journey and setting his own path right now. But like I know for me, going to St. Peter's Prep, I'm on the train and
Mm-hmm.
man, I get in that car, it's going down if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do in
Mhm.
school or on the
Mm-hmm.
court or on the field. It never stops, and then you always hear it from other people because everybody talk about your dad and the expectation and everything like
Mhm.
that. But it's real tough. But like we love this, so like we wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
want it no other way.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Did it come natural, Jaylen? Like, or did you feel any pressure, or did it come natural? Like,
Oh no,
being
there's no
being the
pressure.
youngest.
Oh yeah, being the youngest, two coaches by my side, you gotta have really thick skin,
Mm-hmm.
And like my brother said, you go down that car, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. It's gonna get ugly, but it's a blessing, Like I wouldn't want it no other way. And just to them, like for them being by my side during this journey, it's just like my IQ now, like for the
Mhm.
age I'm at right
Mm-hmm.
now, like it's just above and it's like none other. So like I wouldn't want it no other way.
So, Jaylen, obviously you've had the opportunity to be around the Division One game. I don't even know if you remember this. Trey knows what I'm talking about. Our spring game at UConn, there's actually a picture of you and I. We were like doing like the autographs on the sideline. You were probably really young. But obviously, I've seen you around the game myself, obviously being one of Trey's teammates and then him being at Vanderbilt. How's being around the D1 game so early, helped your game? You talked about your IQ already, but how's that helped you?
Just being like around that stuff is just like it all plays a part in my game today. Like
Mm-hmm.
being around it now, it's just none of this stuff is just new to me. So I'm
Right.
just like everything is normal. I'm just taking it every day by day, working, going hard, and just not just taking it all in, just like
Mm-hmm.
not taking nothing for granted, and just keep going.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
that's
that.
the biggest thing that I try to like stress for them is not rushing the process. Like we got to think
Mm-hmm.
we say in our household, trust the process, and like throughout that process, it's going to be peaks, it's going to be valleys, highs and lows, and I want him to just focus on getting better day by day. Like you're going to keep hearing him say that because that's just what we say. Because that's what it is. That's what the process is, day by day. You can't rush. You can't just be a champion overnight.
Right.
You work every single day to get there, and then eventually those days will stack up.
Right.
Let me ask y'all something. Who in the family made y'all all DBs? Like, how did that start? Why defense?
My father, he played corner.
Okay.
He was a quarterback in high school, but then when he went to college, he played corner. And he wore the number 4. So for us, like they just natural. Like that's what we saw growing up. We saw the 4 jersey in our house. So anytime we had a chance to pick our numbers, 4 was just the one that we always went to.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. You know, we actually did some of your dad's drills. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So we were going like the yards length. It was Rasul
53
Douglas, Juwan,
yep.
53 in the third, Tariq Bills. I will say this. I've only had to do those workouts a handful of times. Like we did them at UConn during the off season with Trey a lot. And then obviously sometimes when we came home, we had the opportunity to do them as well. Y'all did that like every day. Like this is like a constant in y'all development. Talk about that because the mental part, because I was hurt doing that. My legs were on fire, but I remember that vividly. Talk about that type of training at such a young age and having to do it so much.
I know when I first started, I was I want to say I was like 13 or 14 going over to East Orange campus. And I don't know where my father got these drills from. I don't even know how he came up with it. I don't know what made him feel like
Oh, no.
He should get back in. He should be straight.
Well, for me,
for
me, I would start doing around 8 or 9. And I used to go over to Union High School and do with my brother. And when he was with him and his guys, it doesn't get easier. Like that workout is hard all the time. So over the years, it just becomes mental, and all of it is just mental, and just becomes muscle memory. When you get on the field, get easy.
I agree with that.
Yeah, like you said, it's muscle memory, and like I think the best thing about it, like for me, that was my training before I went to Vanderbilt. Just going to sideline to sideline, and like I had my players doing it to this day, but like I was never tired. Like I mean, J-Rob, you play with me. You like when was you ever like, that boy tired? Like
I know.
You'll never see me tired, and I think that's kind of the best thing about it. Because our biggest thing is having a high football IQ. So to be able to have a high football IQ and to be a big time player, you got to make those plays in the fourth quarter. We can't be tired in the fourth quarter. That's the whole theme behind it. That's the whole mindset behind the drills.
I love that. I love that a lot.
For real though.
So obviously, y'all both are being recruited differently. You know, I think in this day and age, there is, I mean, you know, there's NIL now. You know, there's just a bunch of other things that are involved in recruiting because, you know, NIL, social media. I mean, you know, there is 7-on-7. There's so many ways now for high school athletes, you know, to really be prominent figures. So, you know, this question is for both of y'all. But first, you know, I want to stick this to Trey first. Trey, what is, you know, what was your recruiting like? And then obviously now having to recruit players yourself, what are some of the nuances you find in that?
Yeah, for me, the recruiting was just nonstop phone calls, nonstop Facebook messaging, nonstop, just everything. You getting calls from media, you getting calls from coaches, all of that. So, like, for me, I remember, you know, I had a good amount of offers coming out of high school. I remember I got to, like, offer 20 and being like, I don't know what I want. I don't know where I want to go to school. I don't know. And then that's when my parents would get on me like, dude, you can only choose one school. So, like, that's where you got to start doing your own research. You got to see these coaches' backgrounds. You got to see, is this the area in the world that you want to be in? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that was going on, whatever it was 10 years ago. And now It's like how it was 10 years ago on steroids. It's like
Yeah.
times 15. So like now, and being on the other side now, it's like you still got the calls, but the calls is even more now. You getting the head coach, the defense coordinator, offensive coordinator, the special teams coach, the tight, like everybody hitting you up on top of the media, on top of these NIL opportunities. And now these kids, these student athletes now got to make that decision. And now you trying to figure out with NIL, okay, I got a chance to also change my family life and put my family in a different tax bracket. You know what I'm saying? Like I know it has to be very stressful for these kids now. Like I know him. But the crazy thing that people don't know about him, I'm gonna let his little cat out the bag. He's not a big social media person. That's me. I'm more like on social media. Him, he not really. He trying to listen to music and play Fortnite, which is good.
Right.
But that's what we love about him because he's not letting that consume him. You see the different types of recruits nowadays that like, okay, you could tell. We sitting to me like, man, that kid right there, he love recruiting. So it's like, what do we got to do to figure out, what makes us stand out from everybody else? But with like somebody like Jaylen, for example, he don't really love it like that, like all the calls and all that type of stuff. But he's just more focused on the game and on just like his team. Like he like hanging with his teammates and stuff, which is rare. That's very, very rare. You don't see stuff like that. And I'm not like bragging on him. This is my brother. I see him every day. So like, I know that that's what he into. But the nuances now, J-Rod, it's something you couldn't even, you couldn't even imagine. I know you remember what it's like.
No, Juwan knows for sure too. I mean, Juwan was a 4-star, so Juwan got it a lot too. I mean,
and Juwan, you can speak on it too.
Yeah, I'm saying I was about to piggy. Yeah, I was gonna piggyback it. I was gonna piggyback it to you, Juwan, because you dealt with it a bit too. So like, you both of y'all were top 300 recruits. Like realistically. I was the only one here who wasn't one. It is what it is. But you were also a top 300 recruit in that era. Like, what about you? Like, what was your thoughts about that?
It was a special era, and Trey was like one of the guys I looked up to. Being from Jersey, we don't got a lot of guys who are out there, and he's an All-American. A couple years ahead of me, All-American from where we from, putting on. So, me being a young guy, all I did was I'm all on Rivals. All I'm doing is watching Rivals. I'm seeing who the top guys, what they doing, the camps. How can I get up there? And he was always up there. So it was just dope to see how it all unfolded. And why? Always wanted to ask you, why not Florida? Because that was my dream school.
Yeah.
Listen, mine too. It's just I found out the hard way just with these coaches, and you find out. I think it kind of weeded itself out for me. I wound up signing with a coach in James Franklin, who's a magnificent coach at Penn State now, who is one of the top coaches in the country, and I just felt like he was a better fit for me and what Vanderbilt had going on at the time. Florida. There's some things going on over there that I just kind of didn't really agree with. And, I was like, man, I got to make the decision for myself and where I know I'm going to be happy at. That's where Vanderbilt came about. And then going into my freshman year, we wound up playing Florida and beating them at Florida.
At Florida.
Yeah, so that was special for me as a freshman. Like, I'm coming off the year of decommitting from Florida, then going to Vanderbilt, and then we beat them. So, obviously that game was personal for me.
Yeah, Juwan loved Florida. I remember them days heavy.
Hey, it's a lot to love. I ain't gonna lie.
This was that's like the Chris Rainey era.
We had Will Hill.
Yeah,
Will Hill.
He was the first. He was the first.
I think Will Hill's playing in the XFL right now or something like that.
Real good game the other day.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. He balled out like he always
crazy,
do.
Yo. He really still out there.
Yeah, he's playing right now. Yeah, for sure. A lot of guys is playing. I think Matt Elam is playing, Juwan.
Oh, is he?
Caught a pick.
Matt Elam caught a pick. Yes,
That's
Matt
crazy.
Elam is still. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Matt Elam played for my mentor, Terrell Buckley.
Yes. So Jaylen, you. I mean, what are you, a sophomore?
Sophomore going into my junior year. Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness! So
20 plus offers.
20 plus
30.
offers.
Just
30
ball.
30 is crazy.
30 is crazy. Okay, so you are currently the #1 corner in your class.
Yes, sir.
So talk to me first about your recruitment process, and then honestly, I know, you seem very mild mannered, but obviously, you're #1 in your class. So you got to take me to that. There's a target on your back. When
Yes,
you
sir.
#1, you're at the mountaintop, and everybody's chasing that, climbing to the top. So talk to me about having that #1 spot and what that means to you.
Well, everywhere you go, like 7-on-7s, camps, you just always gotta have a chip on your shoulder, and like your hustle can never just stop, and you can't just get comfortable. You can never get comfortable. Always get comfortable being uncomfortable. So that's why I have to learn. I'm still learning it right now, but in my recruitment process, I'm always getting pulled out of class during school, like during first period, second period, always getting pulled out of class, talking to different coaches every day. So, I always look at it as a blessing, but at the same time, like we say, like you always got to choose one school at the end of the day. So, that's just motivation that keeps me going. Like all the #1 stuff that just keeps me going every day.
I love that, bro. I love that. And so why LSU? Was it like what? Honestly, to me, I'll say me and Trey, we had a private conversation. We were talking about setting this up. And I said, and Juwan, I said to Trey, I was like, to me, Jaylen picking LSU, just especially because you are young, you are still, you committed relatively early. I said him picking LSU right now, he's thinking about the pros.
That's a statement.
Yeah, that's a statement. He's thinking about the pros. I said he didn't do that. He did that because he knows the history of that school at the position he plays in that era. So talk to me about, Brian Kelly and his staff and why LSU.
Well, growing up, I just always had LSU on the YouTube, like with my father and my brother, just watching Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu, all the pros that's there right now, and more. Just like looking at them, I just visualize myself in that uniform playing just like them. Like I just pattern my game like just like them. And Brian Kelly and them, they all have a winning mentality and they're very detail oriented. Like when I went up there, they just had amazing ways of how they coach their players. Like they really teachers for real. So and that's what you need in a coach, a teacher, a coach that's really going to like pick those parts with you and like break it down how you need it to be broken down. And, that's just what I love. And they really care about you as a person, like outside of football. They look at you as like a man, like, and they want you to like grow as a person. Man, that's always what you need in a coach.
You've been down there a couple times already?
I took my last visit was around January, like the end of January. I went with my family, and that was just a great experience. They showed mad love.
Did you get on the thing and spin around with Coach Kelly? Do your little dance. You feel me?
How is it like being that y'all from Jersey? How is that transition? Like going into now you about to be a country boy, being an LSU and shit. You adjusted already to that type of life, or that's easy. That was easy for you. Huh?
The transition from Jersey to the South is really just like the South is more as a football where like they all take football in crazy serious. Like Jersey, you'll find some football players, of course, you'll find some dogs, but every single kid and every single person out here takes football to the next level. Yeah. And like most of the funding goes into football like crazy. So just making that adjustment is really good for me because, like, the toughness down here, not saying there's no toughness in Jersey, but the toughness in the South, especially in Louisiana, is definitely different. It's going to get me prepared to get to the pros.
Different. That's a fact.
So do you bring any of that, like, Jersey swagger down there with you, though? You know what I'm saying? Because, I think me and Juwan, we have to defend Trey, you too. I defend our state tooth and nail when it comes to ball,
Everywhere I go, I'm Jersey. Like, I let people know.
Yeah, because they really don't know that this state is really good at the sport, know. So I always try to make sure we get our love. So Jaylen, you play on Cam Newton 7-on-7 team.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, and you obviously like I seen the clips. Like you gotta let us in on that.
Oh yeah, being around Cam Newton and them guys, man, that's talk about a blessing. That is a blessing. Just being around people like who've done it, who went that far for real. So like having conversations with him, just talking about just developing yourself as a player and going through like all the hate and all the pressure. man, he just makes it seem so simple, and he just be yourself. Like you don't. He always says you don't gotta do nothing special to be special,
Be special.
and that just sticks with me everywhere I
You don't
go.
gotta do nothing
Just
special.
mainly
to be
just do your
special. I like
job.
that.
How'd you get on that team? Like how does that go?
As soon as I moved down here, I heard there was a Cam Newton tryout. And, you know, I had to try out, show out, jersey, all that, strap them. That was the light part. So the coaches loved me. I brought that swagger, and they just thought I fit in, which I did.
Don't have to do nothing special to be special. I like that.
How often do y'all play right now?
Yeah, we just came off a tournament, Panama City. We won that.
Yeah.
That was cool. It was Pylon.
Yeah, I seen the trophies. That's dope. So
shout out to Cam Newton 7-on-17.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cam.
Shout out Cam.
Word up.
Yeah, shout out Cam. That's the greatest. I think that's the greatest college football player ever, bro. 1 year to me.
Yeah.
To me, you know, debate me.
And I could speak
To me.
on that program just from a Cam standpoint, from coaching. He does an amazing job, and you know when you see the videos, people think like them videos just videos. Oh, it's Cam
Right.
Nah, Cam is really coaching. Like he's drawing plays up. They walk through it. He does it. Like he do stretch lines. He does the warm up. He break it down. Like it's not like Cam just in the back, kind of just
watching,
chilling, being
he hands on with everything.
Nah. He run the team. So
I believe it though. I mean, I've seen them videos of him. You know, he go back and forth with them kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a competitor at the end of the day, and he takes it serious. Like he's not just out there wasting people's time. He is actually investing in those kids. He's actually trying to help them become better people, as well as good football players. He only gets them for 1 day on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all only practice once a week.
Only practice on Sunday. Tournament next weekend.
And he there every week.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Cam, man.
So
I love that.
How does that work with spring football? Y'all got spring football in Georgia in high school or not?
Yeah, we do.
Spring football.
But around
That's
that
crazy.
time,
What? Time out.
Football, bro. In high
Wait,
school.
time out. You doing spring ball right now?
Nah, not right now.
No, but I mean like you doing it in high school. Like, you have spring ball.
Yeah.
Different, bro.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we full on, just like college, just how college.
So you couldn't like run track.
I'm running track right now, but I could like just transition over to spring football.
Bro, they live a whole different type of life now, bro.
Yeah.
Down there.
What? Bro, I ain't gonna lie. In high school, you know how dread I would have been to find out that we had spring ball, because you know I ran track. You know, I was a very, very good 400 runner in high school. I ran track every year. You know, that was my second sport. You feel me? So if I had to do track and then go from track to spring ball right afterwards, oh God, give me a break. So you got wait. So I got to tap into this. Hold on. I know we got other stuff we want to talk about.
Yeah, we done unlocked a whole new part.
Yeah, this just blew my mind. So how does it work? Are y'all hitting and then going to school?
Oh yeah. Like right after school, we right at it. Board drills.
Wow.
Well, it's
like that.
Ball. It's spring ball like how we had spring ball.
Yeah, have a spring game and everything.
They really developing them boys out there, bro. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, that just kind of blew my mind, bro. I gotta really think about that.
They getting them ready.
I didn't realize the gap because in New Jersey, like that's not even a thought.
Not a thought, bro.
It's not even a thought.
Not a thought. It's not a thought. That's why people always ask, like, you know, why people consider the South ahead of the North. I mean, they play football basically year round.
The first Northeast school that would probably I will say this: if there is a Northeast school that would adopt that, it'd be New Jersey first, because that Group 4 non-public, Peters, Bosco, Joe's, Bergen, I could see them maybe doing that at some point. You know what I'm saying? Because them schools, obviously, they do it. They have a national schedule. Do you have a national schedule, Jaylen? You play?
Yeah. We should. Yeah, we play South Carolina sometime this year, but we should have more games around the world, around the state. So yeah, I think we should.
Are y'all in Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
We'll be tuned in.
Who am I thinking about? Big name that went to Grayson. It's not
Robert Nkemdiche.
Yeah,
yes,
Robert.
Robert Nkemdiche. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, I was like, it's not Von Miller.
Yep.
I know the colors are similar. Okay, Robert Nkemdiche.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's exactly who I'm thinking about. You played varsity as a freshman?
Yes, sir. That was
Did you have like a moment, where obviously you play with more your age group before you get to high school, so you could kind of kill, because you're playing with your peers, but now there's a legitimate gap. Like you playing there's gonna be somebody out there who's just as good as you. And older. So how was that experience for you?
Going in as a freshman, I had zero expectations. I was just tunnel vision, ready to work, no matter what it is. So for them they just threw me out there. I was ready because I had prepared myself all my life doing DB drills, hitting with Brick City Lions. Shout out to Big Body Nas in Jersey.
Word.
And like all that stuff played a part. So when I got here, caught 5 picks, called two back as a freshman, over 30 tackles, all that played a part, which is why I'm where I am today.
No, it's gonna play a big part. Like throughout your career, you're gonna feel it. Like just that experience as a young guy playing out there, it's gonna be big for you.
A lot of reps, man. You're gonna get hella reps.
Yep.
So you know how to watch film. You probably, I would say, like, for me, I don't know about for you, Juwan, but I feel like I didn't learn how to watch film till I got to college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely
highlights. That's all we did was highlights.
Exactly. That's what I'm about to say. I felt like I was really more watching highlight tapes, and when we were watching like film of ourselves, I was really only looking for the stuff that I did good. I wasn't really correcting myself. I actually would give your brother credit for really teaching me how to look at film. He's probably one of the best minds that I've seen when it comes to breaking down film. So, Trey, how have you kind of put some of that into Jaylen? Because he's obviously doing a lot of stuff that I wasn't doing till I got to college. He's doing it right now as, when you were 16, about to be 16.
17.
Yeah. So, he's light years ahead of where I was at this stage.
Yeah, so for me with him, I treat him like I treat my players. I tell my players, I treat them like I treat my little brother. Like that's where the coaching and teaching kind of never really leaves me. And then obviously I talk to my father every day. And then I don't know if y'all know, but my mother, she's a retired teacher now. So like in our household is nothing but teachers, and like my father's disciplinarian and teacher, my mother's a teacher, she teaches kindergarten. So like that's our background, you know what I'm saying? So it never leaves me. So like when it comes to Jaylen, I show him the same cut-ups I show my players. I show him the same meetings, the same rules that I teach him, I teach them. So like he's getting already like college level preparation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like for him, I credit him because he's been able to take those things down and apply it in his own game. And he's been blessed to have some good coaches at Grayson too, like really, really good. Like, obviously he's my little brother. I don't want to just give him to nobody.
Right.
So like the coach at Grayson did a phenomenal job just from a weightlifting standpoint, speed standpoint, film study standpoint. He shows me the notes that they send him, and I'm like, yeah, they getting you ready. Like, they getting you ready for what you're going to see when you get to college. So it doesn't even really, with him, it doesn't even really stop with me because he gets it at his high school.
So clearly the coaching just comes like so smoothly. Like you could tell, like the coaching comes naturally to you, Trey. Like, talk to me about that transition to becoming a coach. Like, did Pops put the pressure on you, or was this like something you really like deep down felt you wanted to do?
Well, I hate to say that it was always a plan B, but it really was always a plan B. It's just when I didn't get that call to make it to the league, I just knew, okay, this is what I gotta do. When I figured out, okay, I want to coach, then it was just like, how do I get into college? And then that's when me and J-Rob coach called me, Coach Josh Reardon. Shout out to
Coach Reardon. Shout out to Coach Reardon. Coach Reardon. The grass is not green on the other side, my guy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for believing in me because I know you actually believed in me as a player. And when they got rid of you, there was a lot of guys that were happy you gone. I was not one of those guys. Even though you were not very nice, you were very condescending. You're always very sarcastic. However, deep down, I knew you gave a damn about me. The way you treated me, I knew ultimately you cared about my well-being as a coach. And so I just wanted to make sure, Josh Reardon, if you ever listen to this clip, I appreciate what you did for my career. You were a great
DB? Yeah, DB coach?
Yes,
Yeah,
he was a long snapper in college.
coach.
He was a long snapper in college, but he was a great corner. He was a great team. I'm gonna tell you why. Before you take it, I just want to tell Juwan. The reason why I loved him so much, thinking about it now, is I was a 6'2" corner that was only really been playing corner really for at the time, Juwan. Only 2 years.
A year.
It's really a year and a half I've been playing corner at the time. And Coach Reardon really let me I didn't live like that, so I'm in this 6'2". I had a growth spurt in one summer, and I'm in this long, gangly ass body. He let me you don't gotta stand that. You don't gotta stand that 4. You can get to 5. You have a little bit more. You can stand right here. I don't he ain't make me have to do this stupid. I'm 6'2". Why am I bent all the way with my eyes on the ground? You know what I'm saying? He let me really be comfortable. So I shout out to Josh Reardon. Go ahead.
He also reminded you if you gave that post up, you was letting down the whole state of Connecticut.
Yes. Oh yes. I'm gonna let you know right now, Jaylen. Hold on. This is my biggest piece of football advice because you play corner. If you give up a post for a touchdown, you are literally giving up the hopes and dreams of the university, because that is what we were taught. Hopes and dreams. That post is hopes and dreams.
If my players is listening right now, if you give up that post this spring and this fall, bro, LeBron going to shame you. LeBron's going to shame you. But now, Coach Reardon is the one that gave me that call, and he gave me that shot, and I got a chance to work with him, and he kind of taught me what it took to be a college football coach, the demands of that, and how to approach the building. Something as simple as that. And when you're going from playing to coaching, it is not easy. Because you thinking, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to just do these drills, and my boy's going to catch picks, and it ain't none of that. I'm sitting at the computer for hours, my eyes bad, sleepy. I'm in there yo, what is going on? But he always told me, you got to beat me to the building. This man get to the building 4:45 in the morning. But the competitor in me, I'm all right, cool. You were there at 4:45. I'm in my desk at 4:30. But all that did was help me become a better professional, help me become a better coach. So then when I got the call to go to Mississippi State, I was ready. Mississippi State was light. For me, my coaching experiences always go back to those times at EKU. And I was only there for 4 months. But every single day was so critical. I tell people all the time, every day that I was at Eastern Kentucky, I literally my knowledge just grew. Because I was so fresh and new to it's a whole nother perspective. It's really a whole nother life. My life changed. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm dedicating my whole everything to ball and just learning schemes, learning concepts. The easy part is the recruiting. Recruiting is easy just because you get a chance to talk to somebody else that and for me, I did the recruiting thing, so I can relate to you. I know what you're going through. I know what you're feeling. All that kind of stuff. That's the easy part. Now I want to show you how I can develop you as a man. And that's what I learned from Coach Terrell Buckley, who's a Hall of Fame corner. And he Hall of Fame corner, he one of the most humble, one of the nicest people I ever met. He actually gave Jaylen his first offer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
But but that dude right there, he used to always tell us, you wanna strive to be the head coach, especially being a black man. Being a black man, being in coaching, that's something that's really predominantly white. You know what I'm saying? And you want to be the head coach, and he used to say that every single day. He said that to our players, and in that room we had Martin Emerson, we had Cam Dancer, we had all these guys, and he's telling don't be a third rounder, be a first rounder, but you got to be a first rounder every single day. And he's somebody who's living his career. Obviously, he's coaching the Orlando Guardians right now, so those are the guys that kind of helped shape my coaching career so far, as well as my father. I got a chance to see my father do it on the high school level and how he impacted the community. I got a chance to see like Reardon and Coles Buck and those guys. I got a chance to see them do what I kind of really would have wanted for myself.
Right.
You know, like the relationships that, you know, obviously me and Reardon had led me to get my first job.
Right.
You know, I seen Coach Buckley, like the relationship that he had with his players is unreal. And even guys that he recruited or had anything to do with him, like people felt bad not choosing Coach Buck. He's like, man, like, I really wish I would have played for him. So like when I'm recruiting guys, like that's how I want them to feel about me.
Yeah. You also was under Mike Leach, no? God rest his soul.
Yep.
So rest in peace to the legend. Yeah, rest in peace to Mike Leach. What was that? I mean, obviously he's been known to be one of like the biggest personalities in college football. What was it like you know, working under, you know, such a legendary name in the college football space?
Coach Leach was probably one of the most interesting men in the world.
Say it again.
The most interesting men in the world. Like that man is just interesting, and he does have an unorthodox way of how he did things, and you know, a lot of people did things a certain way. He did things his own way, and that's what I kind of always respected about him, because he was successful, and he kind of was able to show you, like, you know, you don't gotta grind and be in the office all day, and you know, he kind of stuck to his script, like he trusted his own process. Obviously, he had a good relationship with his players as well. And I'm always give you a story real quick. I'm always love Coach Leach for this, because, you know, obviously when I was at Mississippi State, I was in grad school. I was getting my master's in education, and just as humble as a man he was, I found him. You know, I catch Coach Leach in the kitchen. He making some coffee. I just go in there and grab a bottle of water, and I'm like, "Hey, Coach, how you doing?" No, Coach, my name ain't Coach Bell. No, what? He's like, TB, I know who you are, but you know, I don't know. Like, I'm PA. Like, I don't know if he. And I'm on the defensive side of the ball. For those of y'all don't know, he's a primary offensive
genius.
Offensive, genius.
Mastermind,
so, I catch him in the kitchen. I'm like, hey, Coach, you know, Trey Bell, whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, TB, I know who you are. I was like, well, Coach, I got this project coming up, and everybody has to invite somebody to class to talk. You know, it's the hour of your time. If you don't mind, you know, I can get the class to come here. He was like, oh, that's fine. Just let me know when, and I'll be there. You know, and in a good Leach fashion, though, he showed up a solid 30 minutes late. But, you know, that's him, though. Like, if you know, you know. Like, the people know, like, that's what he gonna do. But, like,
he showed up, though.
Bro, I got an A in that class, bro. Like, he showed up to the class, and them people wanted to talk to him for, like, 3 hours. The professor I had, he had another class, and he was like, nah, I want to stay. I'm going to cancel that class.
I'm glad. And talk to Coach Leach. That's awesome.
Yeah. And it was great, bro. So I'm always appreciate him forever for that. And that might seem like a small thing, but, you know, with a head coach in the SEC, you got so many different things, so many people want to talk to you. And he found a chance to take an hour and a half out of his day to come talk to my class.
I thought that was fire. I remember, I can't think of the player's name at Mississippi State, but you may have known the video that I'm referencing. He was talking about how he was going to leave Mississippi State, and I guess he was at practice, and Coach Leach comes up to him at practice and was like, so, why the F you leaving? What's going on? Like, and he like telling him to kind of like just calm down, go to scout, and then at the end of the day, I just can't think of his name. I don't know if you know what video I'm talking about, but I think that was pretty dope. Like, you know, because most coaches, you say you think about leaving, you know, most of them will be like, all right, well, get up out of here.
Yeah, so what Deion said.
Pack your luggage.
You feel me? So,
Coach Leach is a great dude, man. He's a great dude, and he helped a lot of people in their careers and their life, really. And he definitely didn't stress about, you couldn't tell that he was stressing about things, which is good, because you see a man of that magnitude, you think he got a whole lot of stuff to stress over.
I mean, if your head coach stressing, you stressing, bro. I think that goes for any team.
They be stressing.
he was.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Them coaches be stressed out. I ain't gonna lie, Trey. Let me like, wait, Trey, time out. I gotta ask you a question.
He feeling it. Trey
Yo,
feeling
Trey,
it.
I hope you're not one of them coaches. I hope you're not. Bro, best give up a big play. You hate me. I hope you're not. You hate me. When you asking your players why they don't like you.
Nah, I'm not that. I'm gonna let you know in practice though. And the game is not. Bad. In practice, it's over. Though. I take
You be
I
yelling
turn
crazy.
into real. I
Yo,
turn
I
into
can't
real
see you yelling
Mary,
crazy, yo. You be yelling at dudes.
real Marion Bell, real Josh Reardon come out like. Yeah.
No, don't tell me you're turning into Josh Reardon a little bit.
Oh, bro, posts, bro. That post is serious. I see why he's
that post
so
is
mad
serious.
You ain't got no help in the middle of the field.
It's like Wani, like the coaches, like Coach Reardon was like, the way he challenged you was like, it was almost like it's like mentally methodical, bro. Like he is trying to like mentally make you uncomfortable to get it out of you, bro. Like I had my best spring I ever had in college was my redshirt freshman year because Josh Reardon made me hate him every day in practice. Where every day in film, where I used to go to practice. I think I had the most picks in the defense that spring.
That was my first spring.
That was right. And he used to just have I used to come into practice pissed off because he probably said some condescending shit to me prior. Excuse my language. Probably said some condescending something to me, and all I had to do is I just took that into my practice all day, and I'm like, I gotta prove this man wrong. I don't know why he has this much like.
Johnny used to be like, he ain't gonna be able to say this to me today.
That's funny. Nah, no cap though. Those be the coaches. Like those be the ones. I had a coach like that who changed my life too, bro. Like those are the ones who do it. They see it in you. They see it in you early. Like and they started from day one. They in your ear, bro. And it's just annoying as fuck. Like,
but that's where because I know I've been on that side. I know what it's like. I take them experience Johnny, the stuff I seen Reardon do with you. I do the same thing with my players, but I try to make sure that I let them know that I care about them, I love them, and it's not just you might have messed up on the field, but it's not just about that. We talking about academics every single day. We talking it's bigger than football with me for real when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you prove that you love me.
For me when it's like that, huh?
I'll make you prove that you love me because I'm gonna make sure when we go out to eat, I'm getting an extra meal to go every time.
I got you.
Every time, coach. I need an extra meal to go. You feel me? That's just how you show your extra love. Cause you're gonna curse me out tomorrow anyway, so you might as well. Get me right.
We had a Super Bowl party at Thanksgiving at my house, and they be like, "Yeah, they taking all the food. No leftovers left."
So what's the hardest thing? What's the hardest thing about coaching for you? That you might not have knew before you got into that realm, that world.
Just really. You really got to live your creed. A lot of coaches say a lot of things and they hit you with these inspirational quotes and all of that kind of stuff. And then they might not be living the same way. They might just say that in the meeting room. So for me, I try to make sure I'm living my creed and the things that I'm telling them and I'm teaching them is stuff that I've already experienced. And they can truly believe me behind that. And I think the thing that's most tough about it is just the process. I remember my first year as a full-time coach last year, spring practice. Man, we going over this stuff every day. I want them to know every single coverage. I don't want them to mess up not one time. Man, we go in that film. I'm watching the film bro, what? Bro, what?
Told you.
What did I tell you?
We done walked through this. We done talked through it. I done told you this is what's about to happen. And then it happened. And it's bro, how could you? So, I remember the first day, just that. I remember calling my dad after that first practice, man, I don't know. I don't know. So it's really just the process behind it because he's like, man, don't trip. It's just day one. So when I went back and watched it a couple more times, okay, all right. We weren't as successful because of one thing, alignment, just not aligning at the proper depth for the coverages and stuff like that. And by the time we got to scrimmage one, My boy was locked and loaded. We caught like 2 picks. I had a player catch like 2 picks in that scrimmage. Like it was locked in, ready to go. So I think for being a coach, you got your room. You know what I'm saying? You got those players' lives in your hands, and that's a lot to take on that I was not really ready for. Like I had some crazy calls come through last year that was like I didn't know it was gonna be like this.
Yeah.
Like,
How do you balance? How do you balance, like, obviously in coaching styles, like obviously, we had Jerome Cox, who is brain overload, who's absolute brain overload. And then you have, we had Coach Reardon, who was like, really simple, kind of more just play football, I will say play like fast. He wasn't like, those coaches sometimes like wanting, the best way to put it is like some guys are a T-step guy. Some guys are, running trigger guy. It just depends on they, on their foot. Some guy, when they going to the left, they a T-step. When they going to the right, they not a T-step. But it's still fast. It's still in rhythm. It's not a bunch of wasted motion. But we had one guy who was very, very like decisive about every single thing. And Coach Reardon was able to, let us be so loose. So how do you deal with like trying to find some balance for players? I think sometimes in athletics, too much is like, you're not going to get nothing out of somebody. Too much knowledge is maybe nothing at all in some cases.
Creates a robot.
Yeah. You gotta know your players. That's what I was able to learn from my father, because he coached the East Orange campus, Westside High School, so he was in the hood. So like, some players gonna be smarter than others. Some players gonna be faster than others. Like he had all these different types of players, but I saw how he kind of tapped into each person in their individual game. And you gotta, as a coach, you gotta be able to see that, and you gotta be able to have a plan for them. Each individual guy. So if I'm a position coach, I got my room. If I'm a coordinator, I got the whole defense. If I'm a head coach, I got the whole team. You know what I mean? So like for me, like I'm trying to, this person does this well. This person does not do this well. I got 6'2" corner. I got 5'9" quarter. I got 5'11" corner with long arms. I got 5'10" corner with short arms. So like being able to decide, you're better at this, so let's work on this. I hated when we had to do things like a certain way, because I'm like, what if I'm not comfortable doing it that way?
Right.
And there's some things that you give a little bit more leeway with. There's some things that this is non-negotiable with. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, like there's some non-negotiables in my room. You know
in everybody's room though. In everybody's room, there's some non-negotiables.
You know what I'm saying? But like I try to make my biggest thing and my like theme and philosophy is like I need you at your best. Like, I need you at your best, whatever that is. And a coach that I worked under, Mike Norvell, he said that like first staff meeting.
You worked under Mike Norvell?
Yeah, Florida State.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, and that's his whole thing is getting the best out of guys, making sure guys reach their potential. However, you got to do that. You might have to yell at a dude all day for him to be at his best. You might have to just pull a guy to the side. It's just you got to, as a coach, you got to know your players.
I was definitely yell at me all day, kid.
That
was me.
I'm like, he must like getting yelled.
I was yelling at me all day, kid. I just didn't know what I didn't know, bro.
That's all it was. I'm glad you're able to like see that now. Like you literally just didn't know what you didn't know. Like, and I got a chance to watch you, J-Rob, kind of grow up. Like, even like with Kia and everything. Like, I know. Like, I remember that. Like,
bro.
Like it was yesterday.
I didn't know what I didn't know. Like, I really was that kid. Like you had to yell at me to get the best out of me. But Juwan, I look back at my whole career. I was always that kid.
Yeah, we always both of us, bro. That's why we
actually you too. Yeah. Me and Juwan the problem is, and I think I equate this to our relationship, because me and Juwan, I think growing up, me and Juwan argued a lot as kids. We argued a lot. We were with each other all the time. Maybe we were forced on each other and like that. You know, when you're forced to be with somebody all the time, it make you crazy. But we was with each other all the time, so we argued a lot. And I think we kind of took that on the football field, because I think we was always trying to be better than each other. And you know, we was also considered like the dirt boys. We was both the most slept on, but it was like, even though we were slept on to the world, me and him always were competing with each other. And so that stubbornness, we took that shit everywhere because no bullshit. If we didn't, I don't think me and him would have went D1. The only people that thought me and him were going D1 were me and him.
Yeah,
That's the only two
I
people.
say this.
The only two people who thought that.
You was all he talked about. Like you. Yeah. I don't know if you know how much that boy love you, bro. He love you for real. Like,
nah, because you gotta.
Me and Jawan do this. Me and Jawan do that.
Yeah, you feel me? Nah, definitely. You know, like that's my brother, bro. So it's like, you know, and at the end of the day, like Jawan was always more physically talented to me, but I was always his big. So I'm taller than him now, though. But you know, I always wanted to like just compete, bro. Like I wanted people to recognize me. And to me, like at the time, Jawan was that standard. You know, for me, Jawan was the most athletic guy I knew. He was the most. He was the quickest. Yeah. Like he to me, he was the full package: size, speed, hands. So like every time he used to come on, I wanted to compete against him. Like, and I attribute to him to a lot of my successes as a human. He was my first rival, still is. You know, he's trying to make his life in football. I'm trying to do it in sports media, but we both climbing the same mountaintop. And I really brings me to you, Jaylen, because now it's like, you know, I know something in the back of your mind tells you better than your brother, and I know you feel this in your head. I don't know, you may not say it to him like that. Yeah, but I'm like, you know, your brother wasn't the number one corner in his class. In Jersey, he was. But you the whole country. So I know you got to give him something, a little bit. Yeah. Talk to me about being competitive with your brother.
Oh, man, every time he come home, it's always he come home, like, come on, let's throw the cleats on. We finna do this. We just go back and forth at it. And that's just get me better because, like, he the best competition I'm going to get as far as, like, who I'm going to get back at the high school. Like, I go back to the high school after doing releases with him. It's like, dude, is easy. So it's like, I love that. Like, being competitive with my brother, that just always gives me a step forward.
What's the age gap?
A decade? Is it a decade?
10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember when Jaylen used to come to UConn, bro. He was so young, bro. It's like crazy, like seeing him. He was a kid, bro. He was a kid, bro. Like Lincoln was a baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how life goes. Yeah.
Them games just be mad loud at UConn.
For real. I wish we could have gave our fans better performances because they used to come. They really did pull up. Like we definitely have like a loyal ass fan base.
Shout out to Husky Nation, man.
Yeah, always shout out to Husky Nation, bro. Shout out to Himura. That man Himura is doing great things over there in Stores, Connecticut.
Wow.
So Trey, what can we look forward to for, you know, you're young, about to be a sophomore. What can we look forward to, you know, for these next couple
You're talking about Jaylen. I think you're talking about Jaylen. You're talking about Jaylen.
I meant Jaylen. My bad. I said Trey. I meant Jaylen.
My mother did the same thing.
Yeah. Same.
All the time.
Literally same.
What can we look forward to from these next couple of years? What are some of your goals, you know, that you got set?
Well, going into this season right now, I plan on breaking a record in school picks.
Okay.
Almost did it my freshman year, but I didn't get to it. So this year I'm really looking forward to hitting that, you know, Max Paris first team All-American, Under Armour All-American. Mm-hmm. Just trying to break records, just accomplish everything I want to, and just go into for college. I definitely want to start as a freshman. Now I manifested that a while back. Like as a sixth grade, it was recorded. It's on tape. I was on a Big City documentary for my coach, Big Body Nas, like I said earlier, and they asked me the same question, like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your goals? I said, I want to start as a freshman, cornerback, Jaylen Bell, Louisiana State University. Mark my words. Mark that day right now. And I still believe that I can still do that.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I mean, I would love to see. Actually, I got LSU to win the SEC this year. So, you know,
they were good last year.
Yes, Jaden Daniels. They get Jaden Daniels back. I think Georgia's not. I don't know who the quarterback is going to be. You know, I'm a big quarterback guy, and I think experience matters. And LSU gonna get people forget LSU get the same dogs that Bama and Georgia get.
Yeah,
like, it ain't like
they always reload that.
Yeah, I'm saying like it ain't like I think after 2019 people forgot like for a minute, but Jaden Daniels definitely did beat Alabama this year. I think in Tuscaloosa.
Nah, that was at LSU.
At LSU, and I'm a Bama hater. Everybody know that. I've been on this platform. I hate on Bama. Yeah, I'm not a Bama fan. I don't like what they stand for. I don't like what they stand for. None of that. I like Nick Saban though, but outside of Nick Saban, I don't like Alabama football. At all. So Trey, how's competing with the transfer portal, bro? You are competing against an entity that I wish I had with the free year.
Just show me how crazy it is.
It is nonstop. It's nonstop. And the thing that I always tell dudes, but the opportunity. You want opportunity? I got it for you. But it is nonstop. But I do like it. Obviously, I was somebody that was a transfer, going from Vanderbilt to UConn, but I had to sit a year. These dudes now they get a chance to play right away.
Right away.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. How whack is that, bro? You understand? If I wouldn't have went to Tennessee State. I'm hating, bro. I'm hating, bro. Because I would have been at like Temple, bro. I would have from UConn to Temple, bro. Like,
I can't hate.
I'm hating, bro.
Cause I can't hate because I'm able. I told Chuck I got a soft spot for transfers. You know what I'm saying? Like I know how to help guide a transfer through. I know when you're going to start hitting them kind of like those like lulls where you just trying to get transitioned to the school. Your credits might not all transfer over, all that kind of stuff. Like when I first got to UConn, my first workout I passed out. Like
I remember that.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm coming Vanderbilt, SEC, it's about to be light. Like I'm coming in to do big things, bro. First workout, we going incline bench to abs to this.
Yo, because hold on. I'll give you the scoop. So our strength coach at the time, his name was Matt Bayless. Shout out to Matt Bayless, the greatest strength coach in the country, the best in the nation. He was like, he had real like, he's come from a very like military like background. Like that's how that inspired like how he does his whole thing. Bro, Juwan, we was doing like stadium, the whole 20, 100 whole thing. We went to one time we went to we had like a retreat during camp. We went to like this like lake campground. We had to get in the water, bro. Or some milk, bro. But not just get in the water. Fat ass log on the.
Yeah, we had the log on it. Going up, over, one, up, over.
Yes, bro. Huge, heavy log on the shoulder. And it's like, it's coming down hard. It's kind of bruising your shoulder a little bit because it is still heavy. Like, bro, it was gruesome.
I thought UConn was going to be sweet.
Nah, bro. The thing is, this is why, Trey will tell you, we worked too hard to be as bad as we were.
Nah, for real.
I'm just gonna be real with y'all. Like, people don't realize some of the most hardest working teams in the country are some of the worst football teams, and their strength coaches they work hard. Like UConn, we worked hard, bro. Yeah, I thought that when Edsel came in, I thought the strength coach was less. I thought we worked less as hard when we got the new staff. Yeah. Then we had Bayless, because Bayless, I felt stronger. Like I felt stronger, more explosive, faster.
We running 4.4s, 4.5s, burning.
Bro, I'm running 4. Bro, I never ran so fast in my life. Bro. I was running 4.53 at the time, bro. Like it was crazy. Like, bro, and he was serious too. Like you got to drink the shake in front of him. Like you're not. He was no. Yeah, he's no. Yeah. Bro, I was on that weight game. Bro. I was 6'2", $160, bro. Too much frame, not enough weight.
You just brought me back, man. I remember my strength coaches watching the guys, making sure they drink it. Man. I never was one of those guys, but I gained weight easy. But
bro, I was that guy, bro.
Juan, you was already like big.
Yes, bro. Like, going into college, big.
You was already big like that.
Nice.
Me and Johnny wasn't like that.
Bro,
we sitting in together, chugging water, all of that.
Bro, I never forget. Juwan went into his junior year, and I just remember, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, when the hell did you get so big, bro? Like he started to fill out. Like he just filled out before everybody. Like he just. And the thing is, he got tall like earlier, so he adjusted to his body way faster than when everybody caught up to him. I'm like, bro, what the? So he came in. I was definitely. 2 shakes, wanted to throw up. Like I hate these.
Want to throw up,
that milk in your stomach. It don't feel good after the workout.
I tell my players, like all my players that gotta gain weight, like I text them before I know they gotta go get on that scale. And it's not like how when we was Johnny, like
Yeah.
he's disappointed if you not at that weight.
Yo,
He
Wani, he make you feel
you feel bad going
bro.
into
You
that
feel
lift.
bad about that shit, bro.
Yeah. So I make sure like I'm on my play like yo, go chug a bunch of water, eat some oatmeal before y'all do the lift. And they like what they doing it's not Bayless. I can say that, but like
because he really cares though. Like Juan, he really cares because he thinks about the science of it. He knows that like you need
he got
to
that
like
stuff down to his
his
brain.
like like they have like your ideal weight because like Jaylen, when you come in, well actually you don't even have 2-a-days. I only had 2-a-days once in my career, but you ain't going to be sweating as much as normal, but you'll lose a lot of weight during camp. So what they do, they go on track where you start coming out of like your summer workouts and stuff, going to camp, and then they want you to be a certain weight by the time the season ends. Because you're gonna lose weight, because you're gonna lose a little bit, but there's a certain threshold. It's like a 3 to 5. It's like a 3 pound. Yeah, it's like but you have to stay in there because they like it does matter. I will say it does matter.
And it does prevent injuries and things like that. It is crucial. It's just for guys that don't gain weight easy. It's like, bro, what are you? How am I going to keep this weight on me?
Now I can gain it. I got to be smart with myself because I will. You got to understand, Juwan. I'll tell you, I was 2 years ago. I was kind of fat, bro. I had to like lose a lot. I had to lose some weight, but I was a little big for me. I lose a little weight. It gets different. Before we wrap the show up, there's just a few more things I want to, get off of y'all. I really appreciate y'all coming on with me and Juwan. It has been great talking to both of y'all, honestly. So my real question is, what do y'all think of NIL? Because obviously now you're seeing, and I like NIL, and I just want to say because Trey, I would have went to Wings Over Stores and just did a few pictures with the wings. I would have been cool. Like the problem is everybody thinks you need a portfolio of $1 million. I would have been cool with my little 20 grand, 2,000, my little 10,000. Like in college, that was a lot of bread. Like I thought I was balling off the cost of a tennis. Don't let me get a little NIL.
Nah, for real.
So I guess Trey, my question for you is like, how are you? Do players ask you about these things, and then how do you deal with that? And for you, Jaylen, I know that you said earlier that you like mild mannered. You don't really be on social media. These things don't really matter to you. How do you not stay like distracted by it? Because as somebody who is you are the number one player at your position in the entire country, and with that there's going to be coming over the next few years. You're going to garner more attention. Like right now you're still relatively young. So, but that junior, senior year for you, I mean, there's going to be
they'll be throwing that.
Yeah, they're going to. Yeah,
they're going
to be throwing. Yeah, they're going to be looking at you crazy. So, like your portfolio by the time you get to LSU, they're going to be worth something. So, how do you stay distracted? So, I'm gonna let Big Brother go first, and then Jaylen, you sweep that thing up.
I think NIL is awesome. I think it is huge for these guys now to really start developing entrepreneurial education. I think that's the biggest thing behind it. You get a chance to earn money for yourself, in college, which, a lot of times dudes don't be having money like that in college. But I think it's big just to hone that skill. Like when I was at Florida State, it was big for us. We had a bunch of guys selling T-shirts and getting with this, like you said, like a Wings Over Stores type thing. Like I think that's big, and now you're branding yourself.
Right.
Like, I think that's one of the first things. Like when guys get to college, that's what they tell you. Like you are your brand, so you got to protect your brand. So now guys are put in a position of where they can expand themselves and create opportunities for themselves. I think that's the biggest thing about it, just creating those opportunities. Because like we all know, like the game ain't gonna be there forever, but you might get a chance to work with this person over here and work with this person over there, and now you already got a connection.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the biggest thing that they give college football players, or they were giving college football players. Oh, well, you don't have no experience, or you don't. How do you guys communicate within the community and all that kind of stuff? And now you start to see more of that. And start to see guys become the face of the programs not just because of them scoring touchdowns, but you get a group. It's me, you, Juwan, and Johnny. Now we go do something that get us a little bit of money, and you help impact other people's lives. So I think it's just really just an awesome opportunity. I think the biggest thing that the guys that do have the opportunity do need to understand is just the education of what they're getting themselves into, so they don't put themselves in bad positions.
Right. I love that. I love that. So what about you, Jaylen?
Well, trying to stay not distracted. Just, hard work has been my pedigree for my whole life. And just having the right people by my side on a day-to-day basis, they just always keep my head in the right space, always checking me mentally how I'm doing every week, So just having the right people near me just keeps me focused every day on what I'm supposed to be doing and my main priorities.
I love that. See, Juwan, he gonna cry when he get drafted. He look like he gonna cry because them boys ain't crying no more, bro. Them boys be bust down already. Them boys got the draft. Yo, I watched the NBA draft this year. I ain't seen, except for my boy Boot Champ. Shout out to him. He cried, but I know his story. So his story is crazy if you don't know. But these boys wasn't crying. I ain't see no emotions.
They got that signing bonus already on them.
Yo,
they already got it on them.
I say, yo, that NIL money hit already, like that. See, Jaylen, you make me see. You give me faith, bro. Because I don't know anymore. Sometimes I feel like at some points, like our game. I love football, man. Like whether I'm playing it or not, I'm talking about this game for the rest of my life. I love this game so much, and so like nowadays, I just think like, I don't know nothing about this kid like that. I know the story about that Jaden Rosada situation. You getting some millions to go to school and then you leave because it didn't come through, but like $14 million, like bruh.
Nah, NIL was crazy, bro.
Like it's just like, bruh, come on, like that could not have been the only reason you was going to Florida. Like you still gotta want to compete, like you still gotta like, I don't know, like
play the game, yeah,
you gotta still play the game, bro. Like you're gonna have $14 million and you could be whacked, and that's gonna be worse. Like, yo, Juwan, we're gonna have like busts now in college. Like, you're gonna really be a.
That's crazy just to think about, bro.
Yo,
the biggest thing I try to make sure that Jaylen kind of keep up with that stuff, though. Keep up with the YouTubes and follow the Travis Hunters and all those type of players, and like he got a chance to play with Travis Hunter and a lot of those guys through Cam Newton and all that kind of stuff. So like when you keep up with those guys and talk to them about it, I think that's how a lot of these kids are starting to gain knowledge. Just when you watch other people do it, like you got a chance to see somebody else do it, and it's like, I think I could do that too. Then you start developing it too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really appreciated having the time to talk with you two. Obviously, me and Juwan are family. Y'all are family. So obviously, it really is good, be able to have this type of dialogue because we really know, like, all four of us really know the ins and outs of like the people we do this stuff with. So, I really appreciate you guys for coming and chopping it up with us.
No problem.
Yeah, we appreciate you having us.
Yeah, of course. We definitely gonna do this again. To the PC community. Yo, Juwan, before we go out, make sure you plug your Twitch so they know we on this Twitch.
I don't even know how to like write a comment, bro. How do I even I see private chat and comments, but I don't have a
go to the comment. There's a part that says it should be a part that says post a comment. And then I could okay. I'll put your what's your thing? I'll put it in right now.
Do I need to log in? I might need to log in or something.
Yeah. We'll make sure. We'll make sure.
I'm gonna tap in. I'll be watching the Twitches.
Yeah, we be. I'm gonna make sure I put it in the Discord. Y'all who follow me on the on stream, I'm gonna be playing Hogwarts Legacy at 10:35 on my Twitch. So make sure y'all pull up. I'm sliding for Slytherin for another few hours.
Team Winfrey 15, man.
And then social media. If y'all want to plug y'all social media, both of y'all, just give them your @ name, whether it be Twitter or anything like that.
Man, follow me on the gram, Coach B's at COACH. COACH_BEEZ. And on Twitter, Coach_T-Bell.
Yeah, follow me on the gram. Follow me on the gram and Twitter for #4 problem_ on both.
Get it.
Let's get it. All right, chat. We'll see y'all next week. Next week, we got another goodie coming to y'all. We appreciate y'all. Salute to the Players Choice family. Thank you.